Hello, Canada. My name is Erin Hancock. Marco Plord and I will be the Masters of Ceremonies for the IYC launch in Ottawa. I'm a member of CCA's Youth Caucus, and Marco is the president of the Jeunes Co-operateurs et Mutualistes du Canada. We're delighted to welcome you here to join us today to this national webcast, which is sponsored by the International Summit of Co-operatives to happen in October in Quebec City. I'd like to thank the summit as well as cooperative organizations who contributed to this celebration here today. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. This is an unprecedented event connecting thousands of cooperators across the country, and we thank you for your participation.
First of all, we would like to welcome our friends from Cheticamp, Halifax, Fredericton, Lévis, Iqaluit, Guelph, Winnipeg, Regina, Yellowknife, Calgary, Vancouver, and any other sites who happen to now connected through the internet. Welcome all.
Newfoundland and Labrador, who will be celebrating later this afternoon.
And as this is an international event, we're going to begin with a short message from the Alliance Internationale, Dame Pauline Green.
Hello, I'm Pauline Green, President of the International Cooperative Alliance, and it's my great pleasure today to welcome you to Canada's launch of the International Year of Co-operatives. You know, this year is really, really important for us. It's a chance to raise our profile and our visibility so we can show the world and you can show Canada just the size and the reach of our movement. Whether you're a credit union, a workers' co-op, a health co-op, an agricultural co-op, whatever you are, this is the moment to be proud about being a cooperative and show it to the rest of the country. You'll be celebrating this year with 1 billion people across the globe. Together, we can show that being in a cooperative is not business as usual. We're different, we're better, we're a better way to do business. I hope you enjoy it. Have a great year.
The United Nations resolution that proclaimed 2012 as the International Year of Co-operatives was adopted by the UN General Assembly in December of 2009 with support from the Government of Canada. The resolution calls on UN member states to encourage the development and growth of cooperatives. And although Prime Minister Stephen Harper couldn't be here with us today, he sent a message that we'll share with you now. I'm pleased to extend my warmest greetings to everyone marking the launch of the United Nations International Year of Co-operatives.
La présence de coopératives dans toutes les sphères de l'économie traduit bien l'influence et la pertinence du mouvement.
The existence of cooperatives across all sectors of the economy speaks to the influence and relevance of the cooperative movement. Over 18 million Canadians can count themselves as members of cooperatives, an impressive statistic with an impact on the nation's socioeconomic strength.
Year of Cooperatives, the United Nations General Assembly has placed a global importance on the cooperative business model. This year offers opportunities for organizations in Canada and throughout the world to share the benefits of cooperatives, to promote the founding principles common to co-ops worldwide, and to highlight the vital role that members play in the success of these organizations. On behalf of the Government of Canada, I'd like to offer my best wishes for a memorable and successful year. The Right Honourable Stephen Harper. One of the strongest advocates for cooperatives within the federal government is the Honourable Stephen Blaney, Minister of Veteran Affairs and Member of Parliament for Lévis-Bellechasse. And the riding he represents is significant because it's home of Canada's very first Caisse Populaire, which was founded by Alphonse Desjardins in 1900. And Lévis remains the home of Desjardins today.
Donc maintenant, nous dirigeons vers...
Now let's hear from Lévis, live from Lévis. We're going to introduce you to Honourable Stephen Blaney.
La mairesse Marie qui nous reçoit aujourd'hui ici à Lévis. Merci de nous recevoir, Madame la mairesse Marinelli. Saluez, Monsieur.
And the mayor who has welcomed us is here today at City Hall, and also others who are representing agricultural cooperatives here, very important for Quebec and the country, and Madame Monique Leroux of course, Desjardins, the president and CEO.
Gauthier is the president of the Co-op Association of Canada, as well as Madame Marthe Hamelin, qui est présidente du Conseil canadien de la coopération et de la mutualité.
President of Conseil canadien de la coopération et mutualité.
Started here in Lévis. We can find many examples of cooperatives like Desjardins across the country. Cooperatives such as Arctic Co-op Limited, United Farmers of Alberta, and Co-op Atlantic, who have helped build communities, provinces, and territories, and who are the foundation of our country. Des exemples comme Desjardins, il y en a partout à travers le pays.
There are co-ops like Desjardins everywhere, whether it be the Maritimes, the West, or the North. Over the years, these credit unions and cooperatives have expanded rapidly. They've always been inspired by the fundamental values of cooperation, which are based on self-help and self-responsibility, self-sufficiency, and the mutual assistance in order to assist in the quality of life and specific needs of sustainable community development.
This gives us a unique opportunity to recognize the important contribution of cooperatives to Canada's evolution and prosperity. And it is impressive contribution. In Canada, more than 9,000 cooperatives with the asset of $252 billion provide needed infrastructure, goods and services to more than 18 million members. Oui, M. Rittard, il y a encore de la place pour faire grandir les coopératives et le nombre de coopérateurs au Canada. L'année internationale des coopératives.
This international year gives us a unique opportunity to recognize the important contribution of cooperatives to Canada's evolution and prosperity, and an impressive contribution indeed. 9,000 cooperatives, assets of $252 billion, and 18 million members. While many countries face significant economic and social turbulence, Canada can rely on the stabilizing effect of its cooperatives. In today's business world, cooperatives have served as a benchmark reference in terms of ethics and good governance. The local foundations, the resilience of our cooperatives allow for a greater capacity to adapt to changing economic circumstances. Unfortunately, the role of conservatives in the Canadian economy and their capacity to provide further solutions to various social and economic challenges remains relatively unknown and unrecognized by the public at large. I believe, as you do, that the cooperative enterprise model represents an efficient alternative for communities, allowing them to respond effectively to local employment and service requirements. In the current economic context, initiatives which favor self-reliance and autonomy are highly prized. The role of government consists of setting the conditions and the favorable context to foster long-term economic prosperity by enabling communities and by encouraging Canadians to assume an active role in their communities. Cooperatives are, by their very nature, encourage leadership and promote local autonomy. They contribute positively to the government's efforts to respond to the needs of its citizens by offering them greater control of and better access to those essential services which contribute to our quality of life. The International Year for Cooperatives is a perfect opportunity to raise awareness of cooperatives' capacity to meet the needs of Canadians. Our shared objective is to improve their recognition and give them the more support and room to grow. I'm proud to say that here in Canada, we are working closely with the Canadian Cooperative Association and the Conseil canadien de la coopération et de la mutualité to promote cooperative models.
Everybody is gathering and celebrating the startup of this great year. And I strongly encourage you to visit the website at canada2012.coop. There you will learn about the diversity of the cooperative movement in Canada and about the achievements and successes of our cooperative. Oui, le site web canada2012.coop est une vitrine pour démontrer.
It is, in fact, a one-step shop to access the information required. As you know, Desjardins is one of the primary hosts of the International Summit of Cooperatives. And this year there are going to be a number of events which will occur throughout the country and at Lévis. We will be welcoming representatives from the cooperatives of the world over, and we will engage discussion and dialogue on the important contribution of cooperatives as a significant enterprise model for sustainable economic prosperity. It's going to be in Lévis, and closing, I would like to thank you very much for your presence today to launch with great enthusiasm and aplomb this year. And don't forget to come to Lévis. Lévis, the cradle, the birthplace of the cooperative movement in Canada. And I want to offer you my best wishes on behalf of all. We're very happy to have a good year. Good luck. Have a good year 2012.
Put our cooperative principles into practice with the help of Samajam, a musical group from Montreal.
J'aimerais donc inviter Jean-François Carrier de
Jean-François Carrier, Samajam, come forward, please. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are Samajam, and we're very pleased to be working with you.
To launch the International Year of Co-operatives with you. Nous avons créé une pièce collective.
We've created a collective work to help mark this celebratory event. We are present in 13 regions. We have tubes here, 7 colors representing the 7 primary values.
We have sent Samajam musical tubes across 13 regions of Canada. The 7 colors represent your 7 values. Suivez-nous dans cette expérience collective pan-canadienne.
Join us with this pan-Canadian experience.
Samajam. If we have any energy, let's give them another round of applause.
Oui, bravo, Samajam.
Yes, bravo, Samajan. Aaron mentioned earlier that Livy is the home to the biggest cooperative in Canada and the 36th placing cooperative globally, Desjardins. We're most honored to invite Madame Monique Leroux, President and CEO of the Desjardins Movement, and also a member of the UN Advisory Committee for the IYC, to join us directly from Livy. Thank you very much. Honourable members, distinguished guests, members of Parliament, provincial members, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very honoured to have been asked on behalf of some 3,300 cooperatives and mutual societies in Quebec to speak to you today. I'm also proud, and more so, to do so directly from Lévis, the birthplace, of course, of the Desjardins movement. I would like to recognize all those who, throughout Canada today, are participating in this launch. I can assure all of those who are listening to us that we are many, many, many present here in Lévis this morning. Thank you to the cooperators, the cooperants, the members, the mutualists, to be here with us today to celebrate.
Participate into this Canadian web event. From coast to coast, we can feel this morning the spirit and the energy of cooperation. Cooperatives and mutual represent a very large sector of our country's economy. The contribution to society deserves to be widely recognized. Canada cooperative and mutual memberships numbers 15 million. Au Québec, les membres de coopératives.
In Quebec, members represent 8 million. Estimates indicate that 70% of Québécois belong to at least one, two, perhaps three cooperatives. In Canada, there are a total of 15 million cooperatives members, or people who are working there. And in Quebec, 90,000 jobs have been created.
The UN General Assembly is giving to all of us across the country a privileged opportunity to promote the cooperative model and the cooperative values that we believe in so proudly. Je suis convaincu.
I am convinced that we, each and all of us, be in a position to make a major contribution to further the public awareness and knowledge of cooperatives. The Mouvement Desjardins, of course, is proud to support both the Canadian and Quebec Cooperatives Councils in realizing their respective programs for 2012.
Our contribution to the organization of the International Summit of Cooperatives, set to take place in Quebec City and Lévis this fall from October 8 to 11. We will be hosting this event in collaboration with the International Cooperative Alliance, the St. Mary's University, and, of course, with the support and help of many cooperative partners across the country and in the world. Nous attendons plus de 2,000 participants.
We're expecting at least 1,200 participants and over 125 renowned experts and speakers, including some Nobel laureates. As a further inducement to foster discussion, several new unpublished studies of worldwide scope and interest will be presented. I think this summit is going to be a huge crossroads for all cooperative members and mutual society members throughout the world. This international summit will highlight the recognition, the significance, and the growth of the global cooperative movement. We are very, very pleased to welcome them and to have the support of the governments of Quebec and Canada and the very concrete support that we have had from the Canadian, Quebec, and international cooperative sectors to ensure our success. Thank you very much.
Technology and communication tools are turning the vision of the global village into a reality. But this greater integration brings a lot of challenges. Going forward, we all share the same economic, financial, security, and social risk. Si le monde change.
And while the world changes, there also remains some constants. The change evolves as a consequence of the actions of mankind. It's dependent on human activity. And today, more than ever, we must recognize the preeminence of the human and the humanist factor, which is the very basis of our cooperatives and mutual societies in Canada and throughout the world. In conclusion, I have a wish for 2012 that we harness the amazing power of cooperatives to help us all build a better world.
Merci, Madame Leroux. We now go to Calgary, where Kathy Barswick, President and CEO of Co-operators, is celebrating in the Alberta IYC launch. Kathy represents Canada on the International Cooperative Alliance Board. I will now offer a few words.
That co-ops and credit union members right across the country have come together virtually using the technologies that are now available to us to celebrate today. We are able to both interact on a national level across 6 time zones while also celebrating on a local level at events taking place in communities in every province and every territory. As a member of the board of the International Cooperative Alliance, I can tell you that the Canadian creativity and enthusiasm for 2012 is being recognized at the international level. I have heard more than once how people in different parts of the world have taken inspiration from the Canada2012.coop website, which was the very first 2012 website to be launched in the summer of 2011. This website was used in a number of countries around the globe as a best practice framework within which they were able to do their work associated with their websites and their launches. In addition, the launch today across the country was also referenced and used as a best practice framework to help countries around the globe to also plan their International Year of formal launches. So kudos to all of those whose efforts have helped to get the Year of Cooperatives off to such a great start here in Canada, and I encourage every one of you to keep up the good work in 2012. A round of applause to everyone involved in this launch today. I have had the privilege to work here in Canada within the cooperative system for over 30 years, and now at the international level for the past 10 years. And I have come to witness firsthand how critical we are in both the developed and the developing world, as you have heard from the comments from earlier speakers. No matter where cooperatives are, no matter what their purpose, they are committed to the 7 principles that set cooperatives apart and yet bind us as a system together. In fact, just this past Monday, I read a well-respected international think tank suggesting that models and forms of institutions that we have come to rely on throughout the 20th century may no longer be appropriate for what the world needs in the 21st century. And on that line, I was struck by the words of Juan Samavia, the Director General of the International Labour Organization, who joined us via teleconference when the International Cooperative Alliance formally launched the Year of Cooperatives in Mexico last November, when he said to us, rooted in the real economy and the reality of people's lives. You, all of you together, are agents of change in building fairer, more inclusive, and equitable societies. And quite frankly, I couldn't agree more with his comments. In this era, when so many people are dissatisfied with an economic system dominated by short-sighted institutions and enterprises, and systems that just, quite frankly, are no longer working, the time has never been better for the promotion and growth of the cooperative model. C'est une année très, très spéciale.
This is a very, very special year.
Affirm our commitment as individuals and as cooperatives in this country and around the globe to not only speak to each other, as we so often do, and quite well, but let's reach out to all of our constituents, existing and potential, and spread the word in this gift that we have been given. Let me once again borrow the words of Mr. Samavia. We are entrepreneurs of a better world. Let's enjoy and use very wisely this gift that we have been given in 2012. Thank you very much. Back to Ottawa.
Thank you, Cathy. Nous arrivons maintenant à la fin de cette web-diffusion et nous aimerions vous remercier de vous être branchés. Ce n'est que le début de cette année très excitante.
Monique Leroux has already mentioned the Cooperative Summit in Quebec City in October. I'd like to mention another exciting IYC event happening later this year, the joint CCA-CCCM Congress in Montreal from June 27th to 29th. The Congress will be preceded by a cooperative research event, also in Montreal. So save those dates, and we hope to see you all there.
Nous aimerions remercier Samajam pour leur animation aujourd'hui et nous allons profiter de leur présence une dernière fois pour qu'ils viennent nous présenter une dernière pièce. Bonne année internationale à tous et bonne journée.
Alors, Samajam aimerait remercier CCA ainsi que CCM pour nous avoir invités. On est vraiment heureux. Alors, Samajam would like to thank CCA and CCM. Et une dernière pièce, so the last song with you. So, mettez de l'énergie, put energy, and have a great year. Bonne année tout le monde.
Samba, está animando, samba y samba. Este samba de misto de maracatu, un samba de preto velo, samba de preto tú. Más que nada, un samba como este está legal, otro va y querer, quiero chengue no final. Oh.